Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that is glad we didn't play the one night of the year that Raw and SmackDown compete in head-to-head competition drinking game. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome to our Takeover WarGames and our Survivor Series recap show. This show is going to be strictly towards that. I'll mention a little bit of House of Hardcore, too, since that took place this weekend. Just kind of give my thoughts on the show as a whole on the Twitch platform and also what I saw from the matches. So we'll keep those headlines. Actually, the headlines are going to be gone for a while because we're going to be off this week for our normal show for Thanksgiving. So it'll be about a week and a half before we come back, and if anything major happens, we'll talk about it then. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends to do the same. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, most every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to all that are on our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. Hit the notes section, or you can go to our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast. And if you go to at LITMC Podcast, you'll also see a lot of the great tweets in the wrestling world that were found, including a great one from Rusev after Survivor Series and a great one of Triple H eating it after running into the stage. He sold that a lot better than he did Strowman's power bombs or Strowman's power slams. Man, he took a knee.
I don't know, dude. Triple H looked terrified when Strowman had him by the throat in the corner.
He did look like he was going to shit his pants.
Yes, exactly. So I don't hate. I don't hate.
I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at Raw at Jesus Christ.
Really?
I took over his Twitter account. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers, and as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Yeah, I took over Matt's account. No, I just messed up because I'm still laughing at Triple H eating it from the stage. But anyways, Matt, how you doing?
So that's why I hardly tweeted tonight.
Yeah, I took it over.
You took over my account. That's fine. No, in all honesty, every time, I was like, I just want to sit back, enjoy the show, and eat, and have a good time, talk to people in the same room. And every time I check Twitter between matches, like the first 3 matches, everyone's fucking bitching at each other and complaining about shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, enough. I was to the point where, I don't even want to look at Twitter for the rest of the night. So I didn't even come back until, the end of the main event, to put over the GOAT, Braun Strowman. Honestly, I think I enjoyed this pay-per-view a lot more due to the fact that I wasn't looking at Twitter than I would have if I would have been.
I wasn't really looking at a lot of tweets, but what were people bitching about?
Just, oh my, the thing that was enough for me. It was after the Usos in the bar, and it was everybody losing their fucking mind over one of the commentators calling when the Usos finished a super kick party.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, get over it already.
I knew.
You know how I feel about the Usos, and you know that I love the Young Bucks. But oh my god, hey, Twitter, stop being so fucking petty. It was just some commentator trying to be cute. He didn't mean anything by it.
I knew the internet.
You're all gonna blow it out of proportion.
I knew the IWC would get butthurt at that comment.
Oh, and dude, it turned into people arguing with each other.
Really?
It was it was Uso/WWE fans against Bullet Club /Young Bucks Ring of Honor fans, I guess. Yeah. And they were just going at each other on my timeline. I'm just I'm done. I'm not even doing this tonight. You all have fun bitching each other out. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the show without Twitter. Peace. And that's pretty much what I did. Yeah, I honestly, you know what? I really enjoyed the show tonight. I thought the main event was a little whack, creative-wise, and I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into that. But here's my hot take for y'all, and y'all probably going to think I'm on crack, and that's fine. But overall, I enjoyed Survivor Series more than I enjoyed TakeOver. So, there you have it.
I'm still thinking about that statement. I don't know if I did or not. I don't know, man. I mean, the greatest moments of Survivor Series do not trump the greatest moments of TakeOver, I don't think. It's very close.
Was there really a great moment at TakeOver Saturday night? I can't think of one.
The two best the two best matches against Survivor Series, two best matches.
Dude, I'd put Brock and AJ up against anything we saw at TakeOver Saturday night.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like the only thing on TakeOver that I could put on the level of Brock versus AJ was Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream.
That was such an amazing show. And WarGames was good too. I thought.
I've been telling all you motherfuckers for months that I saw Velveteen and Black tear it down at that NXT house show I went to over the summer, and I told y'all that match was going to deliver, and it damn well did.
Oh my god, it was amazing. We'll get into that in a little bit. And I liked WarGames. We'll get into that too.
Dude, no, I really liked WarGames as if we're talking WarGames the match. But as a whole event, I've always enjoyed TakeOver more than whatever the WWE event is. The next day, like, it's never failed. I've always enjoyed NXT more, and I think my last thoughts at the end of our last show is that there's no way Survivor Series is going to be better than TakeOver. And, you know what? I kind of feel like it was. So, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll talk about House of Hardcore. I thought streaming live on the Twitch platform, it was pretty damn well flawless. It was great. It looked great. Audio, you know. It's not really a high-budget promotion, so, you know, the audio is not going to be top-notch, but the video was great. I watched the main event live, because that was still to come after TakeOver got over with, and so as a platform, it's a great way to see House of Hardcore, and then I was able to go back on demand. The on-demand is still a little, it was in weird pieces. I had to go find, it was in about 3 or 4 different pieces, and not the best labeling system with Twitch there to know what parts and what order it is, so that was kind of tricky, but but as a whole, the streaming platform worked well, and I'm excited for I think Saturday, December 2nd is the next Twitch show. So that'll be cool. The show itself was good. It didn't, obviously, it was kind of hard to get into it big time after watching TakeOver, but overall I thought the show was good. Bull Dempsey in the opener taking on Hot Young Briley, Dolph's brother. Bull looked good there. Missed seeing Bull on my TV. MVP took on Lance Anoy, and MVP got the win there. Matt Cross, you might know him as Son of Havoc on Lucha Underground as well. Him and Petey Williams had a hell of a match. I thoroughly enjoyed that match with those guys. After the match, after Matt Cross defeated Petey Williams, they shook hands, gave respect, but then Eddie Kingston attacked them both after the match. Eddie Kingston was wearing the DCC gear, which was, I believe, the last thing we saw. Well, no, actually, Eddie Kingston was in that Gauntlet for the Gold, I think, or something. But anyways, he was in something briefly, then got eliminated before he left Impact. But I thought it was kind of funny. He took off the DCC gear and spit on it, kind of like saying, I guess maybe fuck you, Ed, or maybe fuck you, Dixie, too. I don't know.
Who knows?
The rather large Ace Romero took on Vic Delicious, and Vic Delicious is most popularly known as the Fat AJ Styles, because he looks just like AJ Styles if AJ Styles put on 70 pounds.
Oh my.
Nick Aldis, Matt's best friend. Not really. Nick Aldis, you may know him.
Not even close.
Know him as Magnus or Mr. Mickey James.
I know him as Captain Jobber Pants.
He took on Billy Gunn, and
Please tell me he lost.
He did not lose.
Damn it! Come on, Billy Gunn, you let me down, you motherfucker.
Yeah, he did not. Well, Nick was a little shady, though. He hit Billy Gunn.
Shock.
He hit Billy Gunn.
He had to cheat to beat an old man.
Yeah, he did, actually. He hit Billy Gunn in the knee, so he destroyed his knee with a chair, and that fucked up Billy when he tried to go for the Famouser. He couldn't do it, so... the Spirit Squad came out next, and Kenny does a great job of pissing people off. I thought Kenny's promo was pretty damn good, pissing the people off of Philly. They took on Super Crazy and Little Guido, so little ECW flashback. God, neither one of those guys look like they've aged at all. Super Crazy and Little Guido. They defeated the Spirit Squad. The three-way dance featuring three debuting talents, the Luchasaurus, making his television debut. He actually made his actual debut in New York the night before for House of Hardcore 34. Luchasaurus, I like this guy. Judas Devlin, he was on Big Brother. He's also on Lucha Underground. And the Mac makes his debut in House of Hardcore. Of course, they can't use the Mac, as that's Lucha Underground. But he's known as Willie Mac here, so not too much of a change. And then the big surprise of the three was Matt Riddle debuting in House of Hardcore, the Bro. This three-way dance was pretty damn good. Luchasaurus ended up getting the win over... Wait, that's not right. I think Willie Mack got the win.
Yeah, I heard Willie Mack won.
Yeah, PW Insider's wrong here. Sorry. Willie Mack got the win over Luchasaurus and Matt Riddle. Good stuff, though, from those three. I enjoyed it. I think the Luchasaurus character is kind of a cross between the Judas character of the guy and like the Vibora character in Lucha Underground. The Vibora character doesn't really have much personality to it, but he kind of puts a little personality into the Luchasaurus character. And of course, Luchasaurus came from the chant of the temple. That's what they were calling that was the chant that the temple would do when he came out for the very first time. So it's kind of how that got to go. Austin Aries cuts a long, awesome promo. Some of the major takeaways from that was he said himself he deserved to get fired from the WWE. A lot of people thought he was going to shoot on the WWE, but he wasn't. He said he got deserved because he's an asshole. He admits he's an asshole. He said the point that it turned for him was WrestleMania when he went against Neville, and this is supposed to be the pinnacle of his career, and he was absolutely miserable. So that got him starting to think, and what am I doing? And he just said he was completely miserable at a moment that was supposed to be the greatest moment of his career. Then he got into it with a couple of guys, a couple of drunks in the front row that were talking shit to him.
Oh, jeez.
But all was great because after the match, Aries hugged him, hugged both of the drunks. They made up.
Wow.
Yeah, Aries is kind of a changed man, and he is now going to be known as, going back to his original first moniker, The Truth, Austin Aries. That was his first moniker when he broke into professional wrestling. The funny part was when he kicked off his promo, he goes, "Thanks, Ron, for fucking that up for me." He was joking, kind of, but
kind of.
A lot of cussing from Austin Aries too on this promo. Lots.
Well, it's House of Hardcore. Did you expect anything less?
No. But it was a great promo. He got interrupted by Alex Reynolds, who I don't know who this guy is really, but they had a match and Austin Aries won with the last chancery. And the main event, Joey Mercury, Tommy Dreamer, First Blood match. I thought this was very entertaining. And then Matt's buddy came out again to interfere, Nick Aldis. Basically what had happened is Dreamer busted open Mercury's mouth, but the ref was down. Nick Aldis came and brought some water to kind of wash the blood off or whatever, and then Joey Mercury got the cheese grater out and just bloodied Tommy Dreamer. Shane Douglas came out to make the save, but nope. Shane Douglas turned on his buddy Tommy Dreamer to join Nick Aldis and Joey Mercury, which seems to be a faction that might be forming.
Oh my God.
Sandman came out to try to make the save, and the Briscoes kind of came out of nowhere and attacked Sandman. So I thought that was interesting too. But all in all, a good show for House of Hardcore. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to the December 2nd event. And watching it on Twitch was great. It was a great platform. So hopefully House of Hardcore can flourish and grow from this. Overall, I liked it. I thought it was a pretty cool show. NXT Takeover WarGames happened last night. Matt didn't watch it live because he was at Justice League. And I went to Justice League this morning. And I think the consensus is we both liked Justice League and thought it was badass, right?
Damn right.
Good movie. Love
Fuck
it.
the critics.
If you're a fan of any DC or Marvel movie, you know better, but some people didn't know better. Stay until the credits are done, because you won't regret it. So, TakeOver, WarGames, we kick it off with showing some highlights from the old WarGames matches. Very interesting to see Chris Benoit front and center on one of the scenes. That was interesting.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was quick, but it was someone throwing him lawn dart style into the cage. I'm like, is that Benoit? Everybody's like, yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Man, I could pick apart all the things wrong with somebody that was diagnosed with CTE in his brain after being dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Showcased in a clip of him being lawn darted into a cage. Probably not the smartest move, but hey, it's not my company.
Yep.
Just saying.
Good crowd reaction to kick it off, but it did not sell well. I'm kind of I don't know. Do you have any inklings on why it didn't sell well, Matt? I mean,
I heard the attendance wasn't great, but I mean, I didn't notice that watching the show, and I was basically like social media MIA all day Saturday. I went to see the movie, and afterwards, like I immediately, like I went out and grabbed dinner and came home, and like I didn't even boot up any form of social media. I just loaded up my computer and loaded up the network on the TV and ate dinner and watched it. And so I didn't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying.
I didn't
do you
want
have
to
any idea?
Happen, but I mean,
do you have any idea why the attendance was so low, though?
No. What I'm getting at is, I mean, like I didn't notice that the attendance was low. As just a regular viewer who was just watching the show regularly and not really paying attention to the crowd. Unfortunately, when they made me to with some of their annoying ass chants throughout the evening, I didn't notice that the crowd wasn't sold out.
There was some,
but if they did, then they have to look at the fact that the NXT roster right now is most certainly in a stage of brand rebuilding. Mm-hmm. Like, their main event talent pool is almost dry. If Drew's injury is as extensive as I've heard, and he's out for a while, you've got 3 guys in the main event. And maybe you can make an argue for 4 if you want to throw Lars into that already. But right now, you have 3 main event caliber people, like, right now, and that's not good.
Adam Cole,
Aleister Black.
Eric Young could be in there, but they're not really been billing him in that way. Killian Dane, though, man, we'll talk about WarGames.
Killian Dane's a beast.
He was the MVP of that match.
The only reason I include this guy in the main event picture right now is because he has the title, and he shouldn't. And that would be
Andrade.
CN Jobber Almas, kiss my ass, go away, never be on my TV again.
And I don't feel that way about him, but
I hate the piece of shit, and he's the reason Drew's hurt. Whereas the women's division has been built back up in a very big way over the last several months, and their women's division's really good, and they've got a lot of great tag teams. Like, their main event scene's sucking right now. Cassius should be in it, but they haven't used him right.
No.
Roderick Strong should be in it, but they haven't used him right. Johnny Gargano should be in it, but they haven't used him right. And it's really frustrating as someone who has loved and supported NXT for as long as I can fucking remember, that they have so many great talents down there that should be main event level caliber talent right now, but they're not seen as such because they haven't been built properly.
Yeah, and maybe the injury to Drew opens Triple H's eyes to say, "Oh shit, we got to start building."
I really hope so. We're going to find out this week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming they're taping Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to find out. We're
Well,
going to find out a whole
Thursday's
lot
Thanksgiving,
about the future. Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if they're even taping this week then.
They have to tape Wednesday, because
no. Let me check.
they don't have, unless they're doing some best of, which would be weird.
Well, I mean, they taped a thing for Wednesday from the arena already.
Yeah, but what would you do for the following? What would you do for the following Wednesday, though?
Yeah.
Unless you're taping like Tuesday next week to air the next day, you don't have one in the can for the week after Thanksgiving.
I'm looking on NXT tickets right now. Dude, they better have something in the can. They're not taping until the 29th.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, holy shit, they're taping on it. Could they be live?
That'd be cool. Is the 29th the Wednesday after Thanksgiving?
It's, Wednesday, November 29th, 6:30 p.m.
That would be interesting. Doing the Impact thing. The first one's nearly live.
Dude, I'd actually really like that.
I hope so.
But yeah, they only taped like only two matches before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, what was the other match besides the UK?
Sonya Deville and Ruby Riott, I believe, was the other match.
Yeah.
So
then they'll be in like full recap mode of the rest.
Yeah, and that's what normally the NXT is always after Takeover. It's always recap city.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 29th, that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Like, I wonder if they're going to be live to tape.
And that's going to be our next record date for Lost of the Midcard will be on the 29th as well.
Oh, we might have cool breaking news as the show goes on then.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, we just learned something.
Yeah. The first match of the evening, not really a takeover-worthy match in my opinion, build-wise, because I mean it was barely built up to. It was kind of weird to have it just added in there. But Cassius Ohno, Lars Sullivan clash for about 6 minutes. I thought it was entertaining for what it was. It wasn't takeover caliber. It would have been a great NXT television match. I thought it was entertaining, Matt, but it just wasn't a takeover caliber match. What did you think?
Hey, you know about the Triple H saying about running into a wall?
Yeah.
Check what I just retweeted.
You or?
But I put it out on both. I feel like after this, Triple H was in full ass troll mode. after the cameras went off.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little flop. Yeah.
I feel like Triple H was in full blown troll mode, selling the Strowman beatdown after the pay per view went off the air.
He was so loopy, he ran into the thing on purpose, and kind of flopping a little bit like The Rock used to do back in the day. For Stone Cold. Okay, yeah. So maybe he was doing that on purpose and not on accident. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it was all on purpose now.
He was not so loopy, kayfabe loopy. So okay.
Oh, Triple H.
So you agree with my sentiments on Sullivan and Ono?
I thought it was too short, and I thought it was way too. I thought it was way too much Lars and not nearly enough Ono. Yeah. And then it goes back to my point right now. Like, they have so many people on their roster right now that could be a part of the main event title picture, but they're not being used and treated as such. And Cassius Ono is a perfect example as such. And they need to do better right by people like Ono and Roddy and people like that, because these are the guys that are going to have to pick up the slack if Drew's out for what is rumored at this moment to be 6 months. Let's face it, Almas versus Adam Cole really doesn't make any fucking sense. So unless they do like a triple threat and do like Almas, Cole, and Black, or throw Roddy in there and do a triple threat that way. Like,
I think it could just be Black and Almas, and Black knocks his fucking head off.
You think they go right to Black in the title picture?
I think so.
You might not even have a choice at this rate. That might not have been the plan.
But with Drew getting hurt,
but they might not have a choice but to do it. That's a really interesting theory there that I wouldn't have thought of.
Next up was hands down the match of the night, and it's going to be up there for match of the year for NXT Takeover or NXT matches. Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black fucking delivered. But first, obviously, the great entrance from Aleister. Velveteen making his entrance and revealing the Rick Rude style tights with Black's face on them. I loved it, man. Nice little throwback to when who would Rude fuck with? Didn't he put somebody's wife or something on his tights once? Matt, you remember?
I kind of want to say it was Jake Roberts.
Yeah, it was. But
Jake. I mean, he put Warrior's face on his crotch.
Yeah,
and he's done all kinds of stuff. But I mean, yeah, that was totally, it was totally Rick Rude-esque.
And and Dream even dropped Black with a Rude Awakening early in the match too. So I loved it. I love the tights. It kind of fits what he's doing, getting in the head to Aleister Black and all that. And then the theatrics between Black and Dream, like Black imitating Dream for a minute, and then Dream returning it and doing the little sit down. The crowd popped, I popped, I think the internet popped, everybody popped. It was so the theatrics were just so fucking good between those guys, and that was not it. I mean, the match itself was fucking amazing, wasn't it, Matt?
I want to go as far as to say, as long as they don't fuck him up, a star was born in the Velveteen Dream in Houston, Texas, Saturday night. They legitimately have something very special in that kid. And he's young, and he's charismatic, and he is living this gimmick on the TV right now. And
he's 22. Yeah.
It's like, if they don't fuck him up, a star was born on Saturday night. Like, it's going to be really interesting to see where he goes from here.
Black and Dream got 15 minutes back and forth. I mean, there were moments where you thought there's no way Black can lose this, but the near falls that Dream had on him, it made you kind of second guess yourself, because there were moments where Dream, you just thought he was going to get the win there, and it's like, what is going on? These guys were These guys were amazing. In the end, Black kicks Dream in the face, and Dream's tied up in the ropes, just like Dream had Black tied up in the ropes on NXT. Black with a kick to the face gets Dream out of the ropes. Dream hits a super kick and a knee to the face by Black. Dream got back up to his feet, and the Black mask was landed after 15 minutes of an amazing match. Aleister Black wins, but it's not over. Aleister Black sitting calmly next to a fallen Dream, and Black has a microphone and says, "Enjoy infamy, Velveteen Dream." So he finally said his name. So basically, Dream puts over... In my way, this is kind of Black putting Dream over after he defeated him. After such a great match, it's kind of like Black. He got his respect, said his name, kind of put him over in a way. Enjoy infamy, Velveteen Dream. I thought it was a great moment, Matt.
No, it absolutely was. Like that match couldn't have been more perfect. Like as much as it was wrong with the opener, there was nothing wrong with this match. People say that there's no such thing as the perfect match, but honest to God, dude, I'd be hard pressed to say like this match wasn't perfect.
What'd you think of the line that Black said at the end?
It solidified Velveteen Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like it absolutely did. There's no denying that.
Does this start some kind of weird alliance where they're not tag team or anything like that, but like is this kind of they're going to go their separate ways from here? Obviously, if he goes
to me, it kind of felt like the end of the rivalry.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So I didn't know if there'd be like they're going to go their separate ways. You're the one that just said they're going to throw Black in the title picture.
Yeah,
and if they do that, they clearly have to go their separate ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was before Drew got hurt. At this point, this is this is just my thinking after all this happened. Is what are they going to do with these two guys from here? But yeah, now that Drew got hurt, it's different, a whole different story.
The entire landscape of NXT changed with that injury, and it's kind of scary to see what an injury of one main event roster guy. And NXT can do that to that entire brand.
And
that's
weird.
A scary thing to look at right now.
I didn't know Drew was injured, so I'm like, oh, okay. Almas wins because he's been on fire ever since Zelina Vega's been with him. He's gotten a lot more importance behind him with her as his manager. Okay, Drew loses. Okay, Drew loses the rematch at Takeover Philly. Okay, Drew enters the Rumble. Okay, that's what we're doing. And then
I think that we're never going to know now. Yeah. But I think the plan was Drew was going to win the title back in Philly.
What? Yeah, because
I think there was going to be some kind of stipulation that kept Zelina Vega away from ringside. Maybe they were going to bring back like the shark cage gimmick or something like that, and I think Drew was going to win the title back.
WWE loves them some shark cages. They use them at WarGames.
It's because that merchandising deal they have with Mattel.
Yep.
With that shark cage ring, they're trying to make sure that product sells, so they want to use that thing on their television. But I really feel like I feel like Drew is going to win the title back. And now, unless a miracle happens when he got his MRI and it's not as bad as everybody's thinking it is, like that ain't fucking happening.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know. I just lost my thought there, but oh well. I don't know if this came from Meltzer or who it came from, but word was Drew was winning all the way up until they announced or they decided to go ahead with the WarGames match. Then they decided to do a title change. So I don't know why one caused the other.
What?
But yeah, they said the reason
that doesn't even make any sense.
That was the word I heard was they were going to have Drew retain, but then they decided to go with the WarGames match to close the show, and so they did a title change. Because maybe they thought a title change with Almas closing the show normally wouldn't really be that big of a deal. So they thought they'd just have Drew retain and then maybe have Adam
That's
Cole.
Really fucking weird.
I don't know. That's what I heard, though. So
look, stranger things have happened within this company, but that is really weird.
Women's Fatal 4-Way is up next. They do all their entrances. Nikki Cross gets a nice little pop. Kairi Sane, nice little pop. New music for the Pirate Princess as well.
I don't like it as much as I liked her old theme.
Yeah.
What she used in the Mae Young Classic, I thought was a lot better.
Great pop for Peyton Royce. Billie Kay went to the back afterwards, so she didn't stay at ringside to interfere or anything. And then Ember Moon, biggest reaction because, of course, she's home. Home in Texas. The women's match was a little weird for me, Matt. I think it was hard to focus on it after the amazing Black and Dream match. I think that was a lot of it. It was hard to break it down because it didn't wow me like Dream and Black did. I didn't hate it. And I said, anybody else other than Peyton winning, I'm going to be disappointed. I took that back somewhat because I think it was cool to see Ember Moon finally get the title after coming close so often. But I just thought the better story would be to put it on someone like Peyton Royce. But I think all four women did well. It just didn't wow me because I think I was still coming down from the other match. What were your thoughts on the Fatal 4-Way?
I was enjoying the match until they took me out of it. And I don't know if you'll remember this spot or not. But Peyton hit the perfect plex on, I believe it was Nikki Cross. And she was going for the pinfall. It was 1, it was 2. Kairi Sane was supposed to get in there and break it up before the 3. She was out of position. She didn't get there in time. So the ref stopped the count, and then Sane came in and broke up the pinfall.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I'm like, well, we know Peyton isn't winning now. And that kind of took me out of the moment from there, because I was just like, ugh, a moment of a close pinfall moment of those things that are so important to a match being put together, done properly, when it's blown like that, by not only by Kerry, but by the referee as well, it kind of just took me out of, I kind of like lost the moment. Like to me, the moment passed when that happened, and I kind of was just like meh for the rest of the match. And it was whatever. Like I wanted to enjoy this match a lot more than I did. I'm not saying the match was bad. It was, to me, the third best match on the show. But it didn't get to the level that I was hoping that it would get to with the women that were in the match. But, not every women's match can be a home run. Although we got in my opinion, a lot of great women's matches on Survivor Series.
Yeah, we did. I'll probably disagree with you on the third best of the night. I think the NXT Championship match was the third best.
I would place that fifth.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a really.
I hated that match more than I hated Ono and Sullivan.
Do you hate? You just don't like Andrade though?
No, I don't. I don't like him at all. I think he's overrated as shit. I think he's sloppy in the ring, and I think his carelessness in the finish is the reason we've lost Drew McIntyre for 6 months.
I need to go look at that back. I didn't catch it being careless.
He went to pull him off the top rope for the brainbuster, and Almas did not have his balance. So it was either Drew had to grab the top rope to balance himself to take the hold, or he was going to get dropped on his fucking neck and be paralyzed. So he chose to grab the fucking top rope to save his head, and then tore his bicep in the process. The entire finish and injury was Almas's fault, and the man doesn't deserve to be the champion.
But I thought overall it was a great match between these guys. A nice little nod for McIntyre for his to his buddy Sheamus when he dropped the white noise on Almas. They're good friends. But I thought it was a spectacular match between these guys, and I thought Vega's interference was great in it, and she obviously did her job, got the win. And I'll have to go back and look, at that spot, but I thought the match overall was great. And I disagree with you on Almas. I think Almas has been good in the ring, and he's had some great matches.
I really disagree.
Yeah,
I really don't think he's anything special.
I think he's been pretty damn good in the ring myself.
I think when he gets to the main roster, he's going to be eaten alive.
Well, when Vince is up, if Vince is still up there, of course he will.
No, I don't give a damn who's up there. When he gets up to the main roster, that dude's going to be eaten alive. He better hope to his lucky stars that Zelina Vega gets called up with him, because if he comes up by himself, he'll be feature endeavored within a year.
The sirens go off, the cage gets lowered. Are you okay with no roof on the cage? Just
I was fine with it. It's I get why people were upset, and I was kind of like when I first heard it, I was kind of like ugh. But they did some cool things.
Yeah, Adam Cole
with the roof being off, and I liked the stipulation. And honestly, I feel like this should be the stipulation of every cage match for the rest of pro wrestling's creation. If you escape the cage, you forfeit the match.
Yeah.
Win the match in the cage, because that's what the cage is for.
I was worried that it was going to be
that stipulation.
I love the stipulation, but I was worried that there would be some fluke, stupid ass thing that would happen in the booking. But hey, thank God we trust in Triple H more than Vince. And I
most certainly do. And I feel like if anybody can figure out how to fix the main event talent problem in NXT right now, Hunter will figure it out.
Yeah,
I feel like by the time we get to Takeover New Orleans, I won't say Philly, because I mean that's so close, but I feel like by the time we get to Takeover New Orleans, I feel like the main event picture of the NXT brand will be fixed, and and will be all is right in the world again, in the world of NXT. I just think they're in a really rough spot right now, and the loss of Drew McIntyre hurt them greatly.
Yeah, so the thing that actually I'm more upset at than no roof is the match beyond, where you could win with a pinfall. No, I like the old WarGames rules, submit or surrender. I didn't like the pinfall part of it, but
I didn't mind the pinfall. And honestly, I couldn't see anybody in that match surrendering either.
No, it'd be just
so it would totally have and then you do it. Then to me that turns into a submissions only cage match.
Yeah,
and I'm just I don't. To me, that's not. A submissions only cage match isn't a match type stipulation that really appeals to me.
But when Cole's putting a cross arm breaker with a chain on, though, that's what
he could have tapped out and it would have been fine. But I didn't mind the fact that they made it available to do a pinfall. And
the pinfall was the cool part with the pin. There was a cool moment on the pinball with the insane superplex off the top of the fucking cage.
And the dude, I want to give the. I know I saw on Twitter later on that night that the camera crew got a lot of shit on TakeOver Saturday night, missing spots or whatever. And I feel a lot of that had to do with working around two rings for the first ever time in their life.
Yeah.
But I felt the camera work on that superplex was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because until they launched off that cage, the way the camera set it up, I had no idea that everybody was underneath them. And when they launched to do that superplex, I'm like, oh my god, one of these two guys are going to die.
Yeah.
So when they came down on everybody, I was like, woo, thank God. I'm so glad that there were people underneath these guys to take their fall. I thought the camera work on that spot was superb. I really, really enjoyed that.
So that pinfall was kind of a nice spot where I can't remember who pinned who, but I think it might have been Roddy on Cole or vice versa, but just put his arm over him because everybody's
I think Roddy flopped over and tried to pin Cole.
Yeah, so I thought that part of the pinfall thing was pretty cool. To kick off the show.
Do you agree with who took the pinfall?
We'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
To kick off the main event, Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson sitting in the front row. I thought that was pretty cool. Mike Rome saying, "Let the WarGames begin." All right, cool. We're taking a nod to the history.
And Goldust seemed really emotional.
He did.
Like if you looked at his face, like the emotion was real.
Yeah.
And like to him, this is part of his dad coming back. Yeah. Like that's how I took it anyway. Or else he's a really damn good actor.
I think he was happy with how everything played out.
Yeah.
Great triple threat match to start off the show. Adam Cole, Bebe, Eric Young, Roddy Strong. Roddy coming out in the AOP gear. That made me think, oh, he's turning on him. It didn't happen, but...
to me, like, 5 minutes into the match, any thought I had of him doing a turn were gone.
Yeah, because there was
like, he got his ass beat so badly by the Undisputed. When the Undisputed Era came in first, and they just beat the shit out of him, I'm like, there ain't no way he's turning and joining these guys before this match is over.
Yeah, my thoughts on the turn, too, kind of went out the window as the match went on. And we all knew that Undisputed Era was going to be the first full team in the cage, right? I mean...
Yeah, it was kind of predictable, but I didn't mind it.
No, I'm not bitching. I just you knew they were going to be in there and just fucking wreak havoc. So, and then Sanity was the second team in, and then AOP. So what do you think of Roddy in the AOP gear?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny, a little corny.
He looked a little weird in it, didn't he? He's such a shorter guy.
He's a compared to AOP, he's a tiny dude. So yeah, it was a little weird, but I didn't mind it. It was fine.
Probably, it's weird. The superplex was kind of an oh fuck moment, but to me, the biggest what the fuck moment, oh my god moment in the match was fucking Killian Dane doing a Van Terminator.
And making it look good.
Oh my god, was that so good. Killian Dane was the MVP of this one. I mean, he had so many great moments in this
That's
match.
That's one thing I really want to give Sanity credit for, because I felt Alexander Wolf was the MVP of TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yep.
And then Killian Dane comes out and has this performance tonight, and I'm just like, damn, that group is so fucking talented.
Yep.
They can. I really hope when Sanity gets the call and they go up, I really hope they don't fuck with them, because they are so good, and 2 out of 3 of them are so underrated. In Dane and Wolf. Those guys are stars, man. And they're really fucking good.
I think a lot of people knew Dane was good, but nobody knew how good Wolf would be.
I knew how good Dane was, but I mean, I think he really showcased it Saturday night. But I thought Wolf surprised a lot of people in August in Brooklyn.
Yes, he did, yeah.
So,
and I've always enjoyed Wolf. Just his demeanor in the ring and crazy guy. There was like that one back that they were showing. Regal was talking to all 3 teams throughout the night, and I think Alexander Wolf was having a fight with the couch or something. I don't. He's just a great crazy guy. But yeah, Killian Dane, MVP of this match. He was amazing. When Sanity came in there, Dane brought in all the toys, so that was cool. When they stacked I thought they were going to stack those 2 tables when Cole was sitting in between the 2 rings. I thought they were going to stack them one on top of each other. I was like, oh, this might be interesting, instead of side by side. But
I wish to give a big fuck you to the Houston crowd that would not shut the fuck up about the goddamn tables.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire fucking match. Like, when they did the We Want Tables things and Dane went and got them, I'm like, alright, that's cool. But when everybody's fucking laid out in the cage and they're selling the brutality of this match, and you fuckers want to start chanting, we want, like, use the tables, or we want tables, or whatever the fuck they were saying, I was just like, oh my god, you all just need to shut the fuck up.
That didn't annoy me as much as the people trying to start a 3MB chant during Drew's match.
I was much more annoyed by the tables matches than I was by the 3MB chant. Like, I didn't like the 3MB chant, but the tables chants annoyed me a whole lot more because these guys are like fucking breaking their necks, out there, like busting their ass and like putting their bodies on the line in that type of environment, and they're all laid out and they're selling it like this is some fucking war, and you guys won't shut up about the fucking tables. Like you've never seen a goddamn table spot in your life. Shut the fuck up.
After the amazing Van Terminator by Dane, Adam Cole is on top of the cage, acting like he's going to do some sort of a dive. He puts up one hand, and the whole Houston crowd yelling, "Adam Cole, baby!" But then out of nowhere, Strong climbs the cage to go after Cole, and then the "Please Don't Die" chants start.
I did enjoy that chant.
That's a good chant.
I haven't heard that chant in a long time, so I did appreciate that getting to come back.
Strong with amazing superplex off the top of the cage. All 9 guys laid out. That was fucking great. Dane and Akam get into a fight, and then Razor hits. They do the kind of the double team Russian leg sweep clothesline thing that AOP does. They do that on Dane right in the metal grate in between the two rings.
The last chapter.
Last chapter. There you go. Thank you. O'Reilly and Fish do the total elimination, and on Dane or on I can't remember who they did that on. Then at the end of the match, Strong hits a suplex on Wolf, sending him stomach first. Strong sends Cole into the cage. Young sent Strong into the cage. Cole hits Young with a kendo stick into the head. Young held up a chair, but Cole with a running knee strike into Eric Young and covers him for the win after a 37-minute war. Undisputed Era, the victors of this WarGames. Matt, this was a fantastic match. The aftermath of it was great. All 9 guys looked like they were dead. Undisputed Era could barely stand on their own 2 feet. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly had to set up a chair to sit back down on. Everybody sold the end of this match the way they should have. And bringing back, I think WarGames is here to stay now because how successful this match was. Matt, how did you take the main event of Takeover?
Yeah, I would be shocked if like WarGames was one and done. Because I thought it did go over. I thought the match went over really well. I thought the celebration at the end went way too long because it went so long to the point I'm thinking, okay, what's about to happen?
Well, you know why, Matt?
Like is somebody turning on somebody? Is somebody going to scale the cage and debut and dive on the Undisputed Era? I'm like I felt like the ending of the show was really, really long and drawn out, and nothing happened.
You know why?
I don't know why.
Nobody could leave the cage. Killian Dane ate the key. You had to wait for him to poop it out so you could leave.
He did eat the key, but no, I don't know. It just felt like this, like the celebration took like forever. So I don't know, but I still enjoyed the match. Overall, it just. I have very high standards, I guess, at this point when it comes to NXT Takeovers, just because they always deliver and they never let me down. In this NXT Takeover, kind of let me down, but it is what it is.
I did not get a poll up. I mean, I was going on about 4 hours of sleep, and I had to work in the morning, and yet I still got House of Hardcore in, so I didn't think to put up a poll for NXT, but. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's hard to compare the two. I mean, Survivor Series was phenomenal, and we'll get into those, the fan vote here in a little bit on Survivor Series. But first, Survivor Series. And I was had a nice little steak dinner after Justice League, so I kind of passed out, so I missed the pre-show. Matt, did I miss much?
Matt Hardy versus Elias. Enzo retaining the title over Kalisto, and
I woke up to...
What the fuck was the other match?
Oh, it was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Zayn and Owens against Breezango. That's it. Like I didn't even turn on the show till like 5:30 because I was out all afternoon. So I got home around 5:30, and Elias and Matt Hardy was already like probably 5 or 6 minutes into the match. So.
And Elias beat Matt Hardy. That was kind of odd.
Well, that's just. It's not odd in the poor way that they've used Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
So. It sucks.
No surprise, Enzo retaining, and cool to see Breezango on the show at least. So I did wake up and watch that match. New Day comes out, kicking off the show. Followed by the Shield. Big pop for the Shield. And a 5-man announce booth, Matt. That was great, wasn't it?
No.
Putting 2 announce booths side by side, and yeah, Corey Graves right in the middle of it since he's on both shows. The Shield took on the New Day. I thought, they gave them 22 minutes. They delivered. I thought, I don't think there's any surprise here, Matt, that these guys delivered on this the 6-man tag, right, Matt?
No, I mean, like, if you thought that they weren't going to deliver, I don't know what the hell you were thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the perfect match to start the show, because you knew they were going to deliver. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, some good stuff there from those guys. Lots of action. 22 minutes in the end, though. Rollins hits Woods with a knee to the face. Ambrose hit Dirty Deeds on Big E outside on the floor. And Reigns hits the spear on Kingston. Then they do a super triple Shield powerbomb to get the win.
That was fucking dope.
Yes, it was. Especially when I didn't expect Rollins and Ambrose to get up on the ropes either. I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the whole match.
Yeah.
So
excellent match from those guys. No surprise at all, and no surprise that the Shield got the win either on their first pay-per-view match in probably about 3.5 years. I guess the rematch against Evolution would have been their last one, right? Yeah, because the next night after...
Yeah, you're right.
After that. Yep, next night after that's when Seth turned.
That bastard.
So, Raw is up 1-0 to kick off the evening. Stephanie McMahon giving a pep talk to the women. I thought that was useless.
Yeah, I was kind of rolling my eyes at the whole thing.
So the women are up next. All the women make their entrances, and of course Natalya is the 5th person. Shane announced that on Twitter Friday or Saturday, so no surprise 5th entrant.
Whose Cheerios did Becky Lynch poop in?
I don't know, man. That's what I was just going to talk about. I guess every
holy shit!
I guess every year there's a surprising elimination at Survivor Series. Maybe this was it, because not too long into the match, Becky Lynch is eliminated by Bayley with the roll-up of doom.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Then, not too far after that part, Tamina with a Superfly Splash eliminates Bayley, so 2 of the 4 horsewomen eliminated right off the bat. Nia Jax and Tamina, crowd liked that stare down. They kind of liked, and I thought I enjoyed those 2 women tearing each other apart at this point, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I liked. Besides the quick Becky Lynch elimination, I loved everything about this match.
Yeah.
So I honestly didn't have any problems with it at all.
Kind of a surprise the crowd took to Nia and Tamina facing off, but it was a great standoff, and I loved the headbutting each other and knocking each other loopy. That was pretty funny. I guess this is the only way to really eliminate Nia is the count out, but holy cow was John Cone counting fast. But Nia eliminated by count out when the fight went to the outside. Tamina got in at the 9, and Nia eliminated. Then the captain of Raw taking out Alicia Fox. Not too basically split second after Nia Jax was counted out. Naomi eliminates the Foxy. And then basically a nanosecond after that, Sasha Banks applies the bank statement on Naomi, and she taps out. So Naomi is gone. Carmella slapping Asuka, that was great because we get to see pissed off Asuka, and she took out Carmella pretty quickly. So it's now 2 versus 2. And so we got Natalya, and we got Tamina, we got Sasha Banks, and we got Asuka. And Sasha Banks gets eliminated after the sharpshooter is applied, and Sasha cannot get to the ropes.
Well, she tried to get to Asuka for the tag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Nia knocked her off.
But Tamina knocked Asuka off the apron, and when Sasha had nobody to tag, she tapped. Which I thought that was good. I thought that was a good way to tell it there. Sasha could have gotten to Asuka, but Tamina stopped it, and at that point, Sasha had no choice but to tap out.
And I thought it was good to have Asuka go 2-on-1. We knew Asuka was going to win, so I thought it was cool to have her go 2-on-1 to get the win too. You agree with that?
Yeah, it was nice. One person from NXT was treated good tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. 19 minutes for the women. Great match there. Sole survivor is Asuka. 2-0 for now for the Raw brand. I'm starting to think, Raw's getting a winning streak here. Maybe my prediction is going to be right for the main event. Nope. Stephanie McMahon and Daniel Bryan backstage. This was interesting as nice little interesting thing.
Is it weird that I felt Daniel got more in on Stephanie than any main roster talent has in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Because she always just, verbally berates everyone and treats them like shit. And I felt Bryan held his own against her verbally better than any of, the actual wrestling talent on
I was
the brand since then.
And I was just waiting for Steph to chop him right down by saying, what are you doing now? I was just waiting for it, and it never happened.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Instead,
I guess was probably the best way I could describe that segment. That segment surprised me.
Instead, she plants it in his head that he'll have 100% control of the brand if Shane gets the shit beat out of him tonight. So, very interesting. I mean, that was a great backstage segment with Stephanie. The pep talk was fucking stupid. So, I enjoyed that. Baron Corbin and The Miz are up next. They show the social media back and forth between the two. A little short. The match was a little short. I think this could have gone a little longer because, it wasn't even the top of the hour before when the main event started. So they could have probably gave these guys a little more time. Still a decent match.
I didn't like the finish.
Yeah.
I felt the way that they treated Miz going into this match, and having Maurice at ringside, and having both of his guys, and he still couldn't win. I thought it made him and the Intercontinental title look incredibly weak. And it wasn't a good look for Miz in this match. This was, to me, they easily could have had the bar beat the Usos if they wanted the 3-3 tie going into the main event. They could have had the bar beat the Usos, and they could have had Miz beat.
Which is how we predict. Well, did you predict the Usos or the
I'm
bar?
pretty sure I predicted the Usos. But I definitely feel like the Miz should have won that match.
Yeah, I predicted Miz to win and the bar to win.
Because to me, it did nothing for Corbin at all, and it hurt Miz in the championship tremendously in the process.
Yeah, it was
I feel like Miz needs to drop that title tomorrow now. It was that bad. It was that bad.
He needs to drop the title and reboot him in the main event picture whenever Lesnar gives up that title.
He's never given up that fucking title.
At
least Styles forced a good match out of him tonight.
Oh, God, that was amazing. So 2-1
I think it's
now.
the most Brock's worked in like 3 years. Like, I think I think if you combine up all his other matches in the last 3 years, I think they would be about the same length as him and AJ were tonight. Like, I really think this was the longest Brock Lesnar match in, like, forever. It was almost like 16 minutes.
When did he and Cena clash? That was a longer match, wasn't it?
So that was like SummerSlam like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 years ago. But it was a lot further back than you think. But yeah, all his matches have been like, 3 to 5 minute whatever fests over the last couple years. And Styles actually pulled a pretty cool competitive back and forth match out of him, which it sure as fuck didn't start that way. Yeah. But I'm glad it went the way that it did.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment, and it was exactly how I thought it was going to play out too, which made me happy. The end didn't play out like I thought. I thought Jinder was going to interfere, but we'll get into that in a minute. But first, Paul Heyman interviewed by Charlie Caruso. Good stuff there. Charlie had a weird look on her face. When Heyman was getting all serious, she kind of like had a smile on her face. Like normally the interviewers kind of have a scared look on her face. She was kind of like enjoying it. Maybe she likes her some Paul.
Sometimes it's hard not to smile around Paul.
That's true.
Because he's just so damn ridiculously charismatic and over the top. Sometimes it's just so fucking funny that you can't help but smile.
Matt will probably disagree with me, but I thought the Usos cut a good promo on the way to the ring before the match. I'm
not even going to talk about it.
Bar and the Usos, these guys fucking delivered too, man. They got themselves about a little over 15 minutes for this match here, and this was the match, the infamous super kick party comment by Saxton.
Yep, that's where I looked at Twitter after, because I was going to tweet. I'm like, that was an enjoyable match, but my entire timeline was just bitching at each other back and forth over that fucking that throwaway comment, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even talking about it. Y'all fucking bunch of babies. You have fun bitching with each other. I'm just going to go enjoy the show. And I did.
Did you enjoy this tag team match here?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I hope Jimmy's okay. The end of the match after
he was up afterwards. He was fine.
Jimmy and Jay hit a double super kick on Cesaro, and more super kicks for Sheamus. Then another double team super kick on Sheamus. So that's when Saxton said the super kick party. Jimmy dives over the top rope, tagging his brother, hits Cesaro, and then slammed him to the desk. That looked brutal, but yeah, he's apparently okay. And then Jay hits the top rope splash for the W as the Usos get the win. It's now 2-2. Jason Jordan's interviewed by Charlie Caruso.
Why?
And I don't know.
This was like the fact that we didn't see him again for the rest of the night. This was beyond pointless. Like, if this was a foreshadowing segment, that would have been fine. But the fact that we didn't see him again for the rest of the show, this was a pointless segment. Like, this was more pointless than Stephanie's pep talk.
Yeah, it was. Somebody told me, like, my buddy texted me. He's like, he's going to take somebody out. I'm like, no, because all 5 of those guys beat his ass. They mentioned next year's Survivor Series will be in L.A. And next up, it's the women. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. These girls got 15 minutes as well. A lot of matches got some good time.
When it was a 4-hour fucking pay-per-view, they made sure to give everybody time.
Yeah, except for Miz and Corbin.
Well, with that finish, I'm kind of okay with it.
What'd you think between the women here, Matt?
I saw some, no surprise, going back and forth and looking at thoughts after the show. I saw some people that didn't enjoy it. I thought it was really good.
I thought they told a great story with Charlotte Gibbs.
Yeah, I thought, like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time Bliss and Charlotte have ever worked together.
I don't know if they did on NXT or not.
Like, I can't remember them ever working together. And I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, they maybe worked in house shows together before, but like, I can't remember like a TV product of these two ever working together. And I thought they did pretty good. You know, I liked it. I liked the match. I definitely saw some people shitting on it like after the show was done, and I was looking at feedback and whatnot. But I disagree. I enjoyed it. So whatevs.
I think people maybe were bitching about how the slow pace early on, but I think it was a good match. I thought it was good. I thought it was solid.
Was it good?
Good. They told a good story. Yeah. How many? Yeah. Booker again.
Dude, if he fell off the face of the earth tomorrow, I'd be good with it.
This was this match that they ribbed him on for using a boxing analogy that made zero sense.
Dude, his commentary tonight was so bad.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight. Like all the time.
How about lately? There you go.
I guess because tonight was 4 hours of it. Like, it was just a lot worse than normal. And
yeah, especially even with a 5-man commentary,
yes,
it was still.
I was just about to mention, even with 5 people, it still felt like he talked the same amount that he would normally talk on Raw.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, Booker, shut the fuck up. Like, if he wakes up tomorrow with like laryngitis and he can't speak, Raw's commentary will be great tomorrow with just Cole and Graves. Because I would be totally okay with never hearing Booker T on commentary again.
So the win
he is
by
not
Charlotte,
good.
The win by Charlotte Flair. Basically, Bliss went for the Twisted Bliss. Charlotte got her knees up. Charlotte hits a boot to the face and puts on the figure 8, and Bliss cannot take it anymore. SmackDown on a roll now, 3 straight, up 3-2. The air of video for Clash of the Champions, which is December 17th. SmackDown Live only pay-per-view centered around Charlotte Flair on the promo. They show Josh Reddick at ringside from the Houston Astros. He's a big WWE fan. And of course, the Astros won the World Series this year. Next up,
yeah, buddy.
AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar. Of course, as JoJo goes to introduce Lesnar, Heyman says, I can handle it. Dueling AJ Styles, Suplex City chance to start off, and as no surprise, I mean, this match played out exactly how I thought. It was basically the first 5 to 6 minutes of AJ just trying to survive, and Lesnar beat the shit out of him. But Styles knew, longer the match went, the better chance an opening would happen, and finally, Styles finally got that opening, and the match just took off from there. Matt, what were your thoughts on Lesnar and Styles? I know you were worried how this was going to play out. You were maybe going to quit the show.
Yeah. Well, 5 minutes in, I thought we weren't recording. I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, motherfucker, Styles hasn't even gotten one goddamn move in, and I was getting worried. Like, but luckily, it all turned around, and he told a great story, and Brock sold the fuck out of things for AJ.
A clean win, and it was a clean win, and you were still happy.
I won't go as far as to say I was happy.
You didn't quit the show,
but I expected Brock to win. But the match was so good that I couldn't really, you know what I mean.
Like the Pele kick while he was on his Lesnar was on his knees. I thought that was badass. The 450, the stuff on the outside where Styles would kind of work on his knee, ram his knee into the steel steps. I thought Lesnar sold the calf crusher amazingly, and then I loved how Lesnar got out of the calf crusher. Just fucking going to town on Styles there. And then Styles hits the phenomenal forearm to a great near fall. We knew that he wasn't going to win. And then Lesnar went for it again. I'm like, yep, here's the F5 win, and sure enough, there we go. But Lesnar sold the match really well after the match. I mean, he looked like he came out of a war. These guys got over 15 minutes. Thank God that AJ won the title so we could have this match instead. Were you surprised with no Lesnar interference here? Or no gender interference?
I honestly probably would have preferred gender interference here, but we didn't get it. So, I mean, it is what it is. I am absolutely terrified of SmackDown Tuesday night.
That Jinder's going to...
like, they mentioned that Jinder was demanding his rematch on Tuesday.
Yep.
And AJ's going to go in there fucking injured.
Yep.
And drop the title back to dumbass Mahal so he can have it on the fucking India tour when he faces Triple H. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, to me, AJ Styles doesn't need to become a 3-time WWE champion. And to me, that's what would have to happen, because he'd have to win the title back at Clash.
Yep.
Or the Rumble or whatever for my match with him and Nakamura to actually happen. Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't thrilled with the prospect of what might happen with dumbass Mahal. But
yeah, end of the match was cool. Lesnar staring at Styles, kind of showing him some respect. I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, overall it was great. So next up is the main event, and all the guys get their entrances. Good to see Triple H's entrance once again on TV. I mean, now that we don't see it every week, it's cool to see it again. Yeah, when it was leading Raw off every week. So Angle comes out first, big ovation, Balor, then Joe, Strowman, and then Triple H. Shane McMahon coming out dancing. He's got his Team Blue jersey on. Orton next.
Blue.
And Orton has the record for eliminations in the Survivor Series at 14. Next guy is the glorious Bobby Roode, making his glorious entrance. Nakamura making his artistic entrance.
Everybody in blue.
And hey, John Cena's got a new shirt.
And it's neon green. Thanks for being a team player, John. Thanks for being a team player.
But it's a new shirt. Sell it. We'll see it at WrestleMania. A lot of great, obviously with these 10 guys in the ring, we're going to have great one-on-one pairings. And Braun Strowman with a great tweet. T-shirts don't buy you trust or loyalty. I'm only on one team. # Team Braun. I wonder if we're getting Triple H and Braun a little... I wonder if something's going to come about that after what Braun did to Triple H at the end of the show. So the first of great two pairings in Survivor Series, Balor Nakamura. I loved it when Balor gave Nakamura the 2 suede on his forehead. I thought that was kind of funny. And then Triple H and Nakamura, everybody popped for that too. Triple H and Roode, Battle of the Spine Busters, that was a great one. Nakamura and Angle, another great one. So, and then of course they played when Angle and Cena came back in. Of course they played off on the old Ruthless Aggression when Cena kind of made his debut. And poor Nakamura, he was eliminated first by Strowman, but the match went quite a ways though before Nakamura was first out, though, didn't it? I mean, there was a lot of pairings.
I didn't like how quickly Roode and Nakamura were tossed aside in favor of Cena and Randy Orton.
Well, at least they were tossed aside by Strowman and not by Orton or Cena.
Yeah, no, I get that, but to me, I just felt it was more of the same, of Vince making the same mistakes that he always makes. I feel it would have been more impactful if they would have been eliminated early, and it would have been Roode, Nakamura, and Shane left over Orton, Cena, and Shane, because as much as we harp on Vince, it's time to create the new stars, it's time to get these guys ready, and you have a chance to make them shine. He definitely let Braun shine tonight, but Nakamura and Rude, they had their good moments with Triple H at the beginning, and Nakamura really got to lay everybody out before Strowman killed him. But it just was just kind of again. I don't know. I was let down by a lot of sequences in the main event, as comparable to the rest of the show,
including the next sequence when John Cena eliminates Samoa Joe.
Oh my god! Yeah, I clearly wasn't a fan of that either, JB.
But surprisingly, the next elimination was Angle eliminating John Cena. Or no, wait, yeah. Angle slam on Cena, and so Cena was gone, and that was also the second Angle slam, and Balor got a coup de grace on there too. So
yeah, an assist to Balor, which kind of helped him out a bit.
So that was kind of so it was a little surprising that Cena did get tossed out pretty early in this match. He probably had to go back to Hollywood. So then it's Balor and Orton in the ring. Balor tried to go for the coup de grace on Orton, but he avoided that. It hits an RKO. And so now it is down to 3-on-2 with with Orton and Shane against Triple H, Strowman, and Angle. And Randy Orton gets eliminated by Braun Strowman, which sets up Shane McMahon against Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Strowman. I thought something weird, funky was going to happen. I don't know. I thought something weird was going to happen here. Matt, what did you think when it was Shane all by himself against those three monsters?
I believe I said to my friend, if Shane comes back and beats all three of these guys, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines.
Well, Braun wanted to finish it. Triple H tags in and says, "I want to finish it." And Kurt Angle tags in and says, "I'm the captain. I want to finish it." And Triple H puts the pedigree on Angle, and then puts Shane on top of Angle to eliminate Angle. And then it looked like Shane and Triple H were going to side with each other, but
which made no sense
as Triple H was staring down Strowman. But no, Triple H hits the pedigree, gets the win for Team Raw. 35 minutes. Your sole survivors are Triple H and Braun Strowman. And afterwards, Strowman decimates Triple H. I loved it when he grabbed him by the throat into the turnbuckle. It looked like Triple H was going to shit his pants. So the crowd got to go home happy with Strowman destroying Triple H at the end of it. So I thought it was a well done main event, Matt. I agree with you. The first two eliminations were, there wasn't the shocking elimination that usually there's an early shocking elimination. I was kind of hoping maybe it was Cena or maybe Orton, or maybe just Shane right away. But nothing like the women when Becky Lynch got eliminated right away. So, but overall, I thought it was a decent main event, Matt.
And it was fine. I wanted more. Honestly, I wanted more out of it than we got. I feel like the main event could have creatively been booked a lot better, but it wasn't. So it is what it is.
Thanks to everybody that voted on our poll after the show on how you would rate Survivor Series. Nearly half the voters gave it a B at 48%. Next up was C at 24%. A got 19%, and D got 9%. So overall, people were pretty happy with Survivor Series, and Matt, you were too, right?
Yeah, like I said, overall, top to bottom, criticisms of the main event aside, I really feel like I enjoyed Survivor Series on a whole better than I enjoyed Takeover, which I never, a week ago, I never thought I'd say that. A month ago, I wasn't even watching Survivor Series live. So, I mean, what does that say within a month span?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's look, I give credit when credit's due. When WWE gives me shit, I spit it out. You know, but when you're gonna give me something good, I'll happily eat it. And I thought Survivor Series was a good time tonight, and compared to what it could have been a couple weeks ago, and compared to what we got tonight, I thought it was pretty damn great. And kudos to them for making it happen. Like I said, I'd like the stuff in the main event to go a bit differently. Although the result, I got the result that I wanted.
Yeah.
It's just there was just some stuff in the main event that creatively left me scratching my head and going, okay. The only saving grace of Rude and Nakamura losing is they lost to Strowman.
Yeah.
And at least they didn't lose to Triple H or Kurt Angle.
And
so
and they both still got their stuff in. So it was a while before the first elimination, so that was kind of a good part about it. AJ Brock match of the night?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. So where do we go from here, Matt? Monday Night Raw might be interesting tomorrow.
I hope so. I hope it's interesting.
I might even watch it live. I might put football in the background.
Yeah, it's not like it's a super exciting Monday night game tomorrow.
Yeah, Seahawks and Falcons. The only excitement of it is I hope Sanu gets 7 points so I can come back and win a league. But
it would be nice to see the Falcons return the form from earlier in the season, but I mean that surely doesn't look like it's going to happen. So
Matt Ryan, I
don't really think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a good game.
Mm-mm. So obviously Kurt Angle's going to want answers. Triple H may want some answers too because what Braun Strowman did. So, what do we do with the Shield? What do we do here with nothing going on until maybe Royal Rumble?
Yeah, they don't have a pay-per-view till then. Who knows what they're gonna do? Or that's the beauty of tuning into Raw tomorrow. We can find out what they're gonna do tomorrow. Or tonight for all you people listening on Monday.
Anything come to mind? What you'd want the Shield to do next?
They should go back after the bar.
Yeah, maybe
Roman goes and gets the Intercontinental title off the Miz. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But a rematch with the Bars would make the most sense.
Do you put Asuka up next as the contender for Alexa Bliss, or
yes? Not even a question.
We just talked about the Intercontinental title. It may be a possibility that Reigns beats Miz. I don't know. Part of me thinks that's going to happen, and then he's going to be the first person since Warrior to win both belts at WrestleMania. To hold both belts.
Boy, I don't like that idea at all.
Yeah, but you ain't putting that past Vince, are you?
I don't know, dude. At that rate, just put it on somebody else. Let Finn win the title tomorrow. I really feel like Miz needs to drop the title now. Yeah, after what happened tonight, he needs to drop that title and take a couple weeks off TV to recuperate after what happened tonight.
When's Maurice due?
I don't know.
Tag team division, yeah. Rollins and I wonder. Maybe the Shield all holds gold while they still are together. That'd be interesting.
They've done it before.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Ambrose was the United States champion for a long time and barely defended it.
Just so they could take the length away from MVP. And events.
Yeah. Because Ambrose and Rollins are still due their rematch, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar, what's up next for him? Vacation.
Yeah, time off. We won't see. Dude, I'd be shocked if we see Brock again till the Rumble. Even if we see him at the Rumble, we might not see him again till Mania.
We get we're gonna get a Balor and Joe feud probably.
I'd like one of them to win the Intercontinental title and let those two feud over it.
That'd be awesome.
I would be all for that.
What do you see with Braun Strowman next? Obviously, he.
To me, he turned like anybody that questioned if he was a babyface before. He's a babyface now, and I feel like he's entering into a feud with the Authority starting tomorrow.
He's going to be kind of siding with Angle, because him and Angle have kind of gotten along a little better since he's a babyface now. So maybe it's Triple H against the Angle and then Strowman, maybe a little power struggle. So that'll be interesting. And for the cruiserweights, it's got to be Cedric Alexander, I think.
You would think, but who knows? You might be Hideo.
What do you SmackDown side? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn attacked Shane McMahon. I thought that was awesome.
That's what I've been asking for weeks. Didn't go the way I wanted it to.
No, because Shane chased them both off by himself.
Yes, Shane had to be fucking Super Shane with a goddamn chair.
Yeah.
But they did do what I wanted them to do because logically it made sense. But I did not like Shane's response to it. I'm just like, oh my god.
You think it results in them getting traded to Raw?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, we might hear something about a shakeup as early as tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Breezango will obviously probably be fed to the Bludgeon Brothers on Tuesday.
Nope, it's the Hype Brothers.
Oh, okay, that's better. That's good. I'd rather see them get
the Hype Bros. The Hype Bros challenged the Bludgeon Brothers for Tuesday, so clearly they're going to get their asses beat. Watching Mojo Job's never a bad time.
You think we didn't get a cash in tonight? You think we get it on Tuesday?
I doubt it. Honestly, you didn't do it tonight. Yeah, I don't see you doing it on Tuesday.
Who would you like to have feud with Baron Corbin next for the U.S. title?
Not Sin Cara.
Well, we know that. Rude?
I don't. Yeah, probably. Rude, probably not a bad choice.
But what do you do with Nakamura?
I'm telling you, Nakamura is going to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything with Nakamura until then. Having a makeshift feud for a month, doing something on Clash of Champions, and then he wins the Rumble. Then the rest of it already writes itself.
And what about the Usos? The New Day still have...
I don't feel like their feud with Gable and Benjamin are done yet.
Yeah, that's true. That might be the next
It's
step
just
there.
technically put on hold.
And how about John Cena? Oh, he's going to Hollywood.
Go away. Take your new merch and go away.
Hopefully we get some fun here on Monday and Tuesday as we now set the table. Well, they'll be setting the table for Clash of Champions, but obviously the next milestone in front of us is Royal Rumble. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure that you search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button, and tell all your friends to do the same. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday, most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Go to the notes section there, or on our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great stuff with the wrestling world. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset and enjoy some turkey, take off for about a week and a half. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Go see Justice League.
Yes.
And if you've already seen it, go see it again.
Yes. Yes.
Support this damn movie, and don't let Warner Brothers think that they made a mistake with this one. because they didn't. Go support this movie and make sure that the DC Cinematic Universe continues on in the direction that this movie left off. Do not let Warner Brothers panic and do something stupid. Don't do it.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Have yourself a good Thanksgiving. We will be back at you a week from Thursday. The Thursday after Thanksgiving is when we'll be back. Have a good one.